The time is 7:20 in the morning time on this early Friday morning, September 6th, 2019. It is time now for the Peter Channel Morning News on this Friday morning, September 6th, 2019. Got, good morning to you all. This lovely Friday morning, September 6th, 2019. It is 7:20 a.m. and it is 51 degrees in Norton, Massachusetts. Top stories on the Peter Chilabata News at 7:20 is Dorian skims not gone to bring an eye winds and that been in storm surge. Tributes and also fierce criticism pouring after the death of Zimbabwe ex-president Robert Mugabe at the age of 95. California died boat owner quickly asked judge to limit payouts to victims' families. Owner of Jeep explains why it was left on the beach of the Myrtle Beach during Hurricane Dorian. American Airlines mechanic charged with sabotaging an aircraft. Former Starbucks chief executive Robert Schultz announced he will not run for president. Fifth human case of duly diagnosed in Massachusetts and Ashland. Republicans to scrap primaries and caucuses as Trump challengers cried foul. Perfect storm, media pound Trump with the Shelbygate hurricane map. Aurora calls out Texas Governor Abbott for executive orders following mass shootings. Air Force jet accident fires sparkling in the Arizona desert. Joe Johnson quits as MP and Minister Senate national interest. Fitch downgrades Hong Kong with China's stronger hand. Merkel has made a U-turn on China, but may be too late. Trump envoy clashes with Afghan government over proposed Taliban. Narragansett Beer acquires new brewery location in Providence. States to launch. Let's skip that. U.S. stocks heading the gains ahead of job support. Look at that stocks now. Up 372.68 at 26,728.15. S&P 500 up 3.32 at 29.76. And Nasdaq up 139.95 at 8116.83. As speculation where I'll tell you especially the Caribbean. The measles come back to put kids at risk of many other infectious diseases. Tropical Storm Gabrielle has continued the weekend from a tropical storm to tropical cyclone overnight, and Friday was further downgraded a post-tropical cyclone, officials said. South Korea administered the WDI scripture during confirmation hearing. More than 343,000 households were without power in the Carolinas and Virginia early Friday due to Hurricane Dorian, which is now moving rapidly up along the East Coast. Effort against beer ruling gives U.S. presidential electors too much vote power. Evansville, Indiana, massive pile of brown and soybeans in Missouri caught fire in July and still is burning. Peter Channel News Time is 7:23 on this Friday morning, and it is time now for our sports report. Plus the results fall today. Minnesota Twins last night 2-1 at Fenway Park. Sox and the New York Yankees will first of a 4-game series at Fenway Park. Game time is 7:10 p.m. at Fenway Park. Not Lancers volleyball team will have their first home game at the Gymnasium against the Ashland Clockers. Game time 6:30 p.m. Serena Williams tallied his direct one first U.S. Open to win the Book 10 final in New York. Serena Williams beats Elena Silva advances to the 10th U.S. Open final. Peter Jello News Time is 7:24. Time now for stock report. Dow up 372.68 at 26,728.15. SP 500 up 3.22 at 29.76. And Nasdaq up 139.95 at 8116.83. And now traffic trends to check at 7:24. Beep beep on the MBTA subway system. It's looking good. Commuter rail, Fitchburg trade 402, 545 fair. Watches on 5025 minutes basket between air and off station due to classification issue near air. Payment trade 587.640 from South Station over to South Station over 10 minutes back there to the earlier equipment swaps. Needham train 601, 7:05 a.m. from South Station over to South Station over near scheduled. Providence train 804, 6 a.m. from Providence Auburn 5 basket between Mansfield and substation due to mechanical issue, and the first day are looking good. Okay, looking at the highways and byways in New England on this. Looking at highways and byways on this. Friday, first of all, starting off in the Providence vicinity. 95 northbound side, so between 37 and Walk area to downtown Providence. 95 in the southbound side, for 126 center, downtown Providence. 610 connector, so between 695 and downtown Providence. Route 60 eastbound side, also before 610 connector. 146 southbound side, so before Route 95 and downtown Providence. 195 westbound, so around the East Providence stretch, down to downtown Providence. At 285 in the northbound side, so between Route 95 and Work around the 37 Work. 146 both ends, but 146 and the 99 in the North People stretch. 130 to the westbound side, Little Sur on the Newport Bridge. Mount Hope Bridge on the southbound side, Little Sur, but Jamestown is the kind of river bridges out. Looking good. Out in the Cape Downs, 28 on the southbound side, Little Sur around the Bourne Bridge. 28 on the northbound side, also Bourne Watery. Route 6 is eastbound Little Sur after 134 in South Dennis. Route 3 to the northbound side, Little Sur to Political Plantation Highway. 140 on the northbound side, so before 24 in Taunton, and 24 northbound side, so on 24 around 140 in Taunton. 95 northbound side, Little Sur between Route 1 and Sheridan on the 128 to Canton. 24 northbound side, so the 27 Buckton on the 128 to Canton. Route 3 to the northbound side, so between Derby Street and hanging on the Patriots Split Service Expressway. The northbound side, so between the Patriots Split down the Dorchester Service Expressway. Southbound side, the Dorchester section. Mass Pike westbound slow between Logan and the South Boston. Subtitles, so Calotels look good. Route 1 southbound side, so between River down to Charlestown. 93 southbound side. Sabago between 495 and 1 Route 1 in Sharon. Route 1 in Boston. Route 1 is southbound side, so between River down to Charlestown. 128 southbound side, so between Linfield down to Woburn and Hippersman and Burlington stretch. 128 at the northbound side, so 24 in Canton all the way on to Route 109 in Westwood. 128 at the northbound side, so 28 Exeter 95 northbound side, so between Route 1 is Strandon on 128 in Canton. 24 northbound side, so between Brockton down to 128 in Canton. Route 3 to southbound side, so 495. Willow down to 128 in Burlington. 495 at the southbound side, so Route 93 in Andover. Central Mass, 29 eastbound, so between 146 and Route 9 in Worcester. 146 at the northbound side, so before 29 in Worcester. In Western Massachusetts, I was looking good. And Route 2 eastbound side, also Westminster, Massachusetts. Peter Childers side, 727, down for weather reports. Like the Butterman's rain, stop and then take it in way up southeast of Long Island. Now the latest on Dorian, 5 a.m. advisory, 95 power winds, category 1 storm, minimum set pressure, 1956 millibar, located 34.6 to the north, 76.2 to the west, and move it northeast at 14 miles an hour. And we have a tropical storm warning in effect for Chatham, Falmouth, Providence, for the Cape and the Islands. Latest local equivalent tropical storm. Wind force 30 to 40 miles, gusts up to 50 miles an hour. 50 life and property that includes typical forecast of radio track size intensity potential. Wind 30 to 57 miles an hour. Wind further has rain newly steady from the previous assessment and plan for hazard wind of equivalent tropical storm. Force due to the possible forecast change in track size or intensity. Remaining efforts to protect property should be completed as soon as possible. Prepare for limited wind damage. Move to safe shelter before the wind becomes hazardous. Damage to porches, awnings, and carports, sheds, and unanchored mobiles and unsecured lightweight apertures have blown out. Many large tree limbs broken off, a few trees snapped or uprooted. But with great numbers in place where trees are shallow wooded and some fences of roadway sides blown out over. A few roads and bounce for debris, particularly within urban and heavy woodly places, and there's driving conditions on bridges and other elevated roadways, and scattered power and communications outages, and no storm surge forecast. Threat to life and property that includes typical forecast of radio track size and intensity, little no storm surge flooding. The storm surge threat has remained nearly steadily from the previous estimate. There is no little threat of storm surge flooded rough surf and coastal erosion and Langford and rip currents not possible. Prepare little to no preparation for storm surge flooded needed. Act following the instructed local officials monitor the forecasts. Little to no potential impacts from storm surge flooding. Peak rainfall amounts 1 to 3 inches, local area amounts, and frontal life and property that includes typical forecast that's ready to track size and intensity for the potential localized flooding rain. The flooding rain threat has remained stated from the previous estimate of emergency plans should include the potential for localized flooding and from heavy rain. Consider protect actions to be an area vulnerable to flooding and heating, flood watches and warnings. Localized rainfall flooding may prompt a few evacuations. Rivers and tributaries may frequently rise with strips or currents, while streets, creeks, canals, roads, and ditches may become swollen and overflowing spots. And flood waters can enter a few structures, especially losing vulnerable spots, a few places where rapid pumping of water occurs on underpasses, low-lying spots, and poor drainage or several storm drains have potential problems become dual full at the beginning of overflow. Some brief road and bridge closures. Situation of favorable for tornadoes. And the tornado threat has remained duly steady. Tornado is not expected. The tornado threat has remained duly steady from the previous assessment. The tornado not expected. Shows that that's what gust winds may still occur. Little no preparation needed to protect against tornado to the top. Keep informed with the latest tornado situation. Little the changes in the forecast. And little or no potential impacts for tornadoes. Okay, look at that forecast. Goes like this. Hey, slight chance of showers after 3 p.m. Punch tomorrow for today it was 20 centimeters, but 7 to 20%. Tonight, punchy fog and rain after 2 a.m. Low at 57 degrees. Then northeast about 9 11 miles like that, 24 miles an hour. Chance of 8% new percent between half and 3/4 inch possible. If you get towards it, if you move farther from the gate, the rain and winds are lessened. Saturday, rain likely rain for 2 p.m. Petrol for 90 west, mostly cast by 66 degrees, down about 56 miles, cast by 30 miles an hour. Chance of 6%, they do between quite an average possible. If you go to the Norton football game against Foxborough tomorrow at Norton High at 1 o'clock, it's going to be perfect. The rain's going to hold off, and it's going to be football Norton. Saturday night, slight chance to shut rain between 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Partly caused by 53 degrees, and westward about 35 miles an hour. Chance of 20% for Sunday. Sunday part comes from at 74 about 53 degrees. Northwest about 3 to 8 miles an hour. Monday, most sunny up at 73 about 51 degrees. Lot north wind. Tuesday, most sunny part comes about 72 about 53 degrees. North about 3 to 5 miles an hour. Shift to the southeast wind about 3 to 5 miles an hour. For Wednesday, check the charts. Put these the most comes from 71 about 57 degrees. Lot south wind increase to 5 to 9 miles in the morning. Winds gust size 21 miles an hour. Chance is 40% for Thursday. Check the charts. Put the estimate 71 degrees. And northwest about 5 to 8 miles in gust size. 20 miles an hour, chance of 40%. Right now, Norton it's up, fair and 51 degrees. That's going to be it for the Peter Channel morning news on this Friday morning, September 6th, 2018. Peter, hope you have a good morning, a good day. I hope you have a wonderful day.